July 2nd, comparing. Our personal stories may vary in individual pattern, but in the end, we all have the same thing in common. Basic text, page 87. We addicts are a varied bunch, coming from different backgrounds, having used different drugs, and recalling different experiences. Our differences don't appear in recovery. For some, those differences become even more pronounced. Freedom from active addiction gives us the freedom to be ourselves as we truly are. The fact that we are all recovering doesn't mean that we all necessarily have the same needs or goals. For each of us has our own lessons to learn in recovery. With so many differences from one addict to the next, how do we help one another in recovery, and how do we use each other's experience? We come together to share our lives in light of the principles of recovery. Though our lives are different, the spiritual principles we apply are the same. It is by the light of these principles shining through our differences that we illuminate one another's way on our individual paths. We all have two things in common: addiction and recovery. When we listen carefully, we hear others tell of suffering from the same disease we have suffered from, regardless of their specific backgrounds. We open our ears. We hear other addicts talk of applying spiritual principles that promise hope to us as well, regardless of our personal goals. Just for today, I have my own path to follow, yet I'm grateful for the fellowship of others who've suffered from addiction and who are learning to apply the principles of recovery just like me. My name is David. I'm an addict. My clean date is 11/3/2001. I have a home group. I have a sponsor. I was sharing a little bit about this in a meeting recently, where a lot of people were sharing like all these different struggles that they had, like medical things. I think like an abuser came back into somebody's life, shared about how they like recovered from different things in their marriage and how they were like learning these lessons about it. And I shared where it's just like all these problems are great, and then I went on to say like a small anecdote. I won't share it today, but it's just like those problems, going through those problems are important because we get to apply these spiritual principles. We get to learn from each other and share what worked and how we got through it. That is very important. So we can tell the newcomer, tell the person that's maybe going through something similar, like how we got through it clean, how we got through it with these spiritual principles. And there's a lot of things in the text that talk about like we don't go through the same stuff at the same time, how diversity is our strength, and what I love from like recovery and relapse is like all addicts are the same except for rate of recovery and the level of their like the extent of their addiction, right? How far down they went through that spiral before they got here. But besides those two things, we're all the same. And I think it works. I know it works because we're all kind of meeting in different like places on the road, right? We're all kind of getting to Narcotics Anonymous, where we are at a bottom of sorts of wherever we choose to stop digging is our bottom, and then a lot of people have been in that exact spot and they can tell us what they did. I love this about the program, and that I can go to people that don't look like me, talk like me, act like me, have the same job as me, background, all those different things, and then we can hug, and then we have this huge thing in common that's saving both of our lives. I don't know of another place that I can find such a unique situation where I can find that love and receive all those things and then learn from other people that have a completely different background, but we all have that same thing in common. I think it works. It works for me. Hope you have a good day and take care.